his son before a civil jury.
My attorney said, you know, we can file a lawful death suit, and that will force the county attorney to make a move.
Bill was about to sue his son for Shirley's death. If the jury ruled for the father, Jason wouldn't face prison, but something like financial ruin.
Coming up.
Plaintiff called Jason Carter.
Father against son.
He became a children product liar.
Son against father.
Killed Shane Carter. Son was sleeping. It's not Jason Carter.
When Dateline continues.
News lives in the now. Look at this. You can't even see anything. Let's break down what we know. You gotta see this. News of a generation of now. It's NBC News Now.
Kristen Welker joins Meet the Press as its new moderator. Sundays on ABC.
Coming on the air with breaking news. We are live tonight from Juarez, Mexico, recording on the skies of Lahaina. Here in Florida, the time to evacuate has come and gone. You were seeing people just running for their lives.
People running for their lives.
We've seen this almost unbelievable power struggle. What does this mean for Ukraine? It's the battle off the field that's inspired the world.
Every night, it's your news playlist. Top Story with Tom Yamas. Streaming weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now.
News lives in the now. It's coming at us every second from all over the world. We have a full team. News is more now than ever. Look at this. You can't even see anything anymore.
Our house is no longer here, but we are here.
Now is raw. Now is real.
The Fed's decision today help us translate the news we're hearing and relating. Is that good news for us?
Now is constant. You gotta see this. The future is now. News for the generation of now is NBC News Now.
What is going to happen now?
Back and forth.
Go ahead. This is it.
Top Story is coming to you live from Juarez, Mexico, reporting over the skies of Lahaina.
Every weeknight, it's your news playlist. Top Story with Tom Yamas. Streaming weeknights at 7 on NBC News Now. The NBC News mobile app. Get connected to your favorite news shows. For the top stories, breaking news, and live video, download the NBC News mobile app now.
News lives in the now.
Israel tonight declaring war against Hamas following the brutal surprise attack within its own borders.
Now is raw.
We are in the West Bank city of Ramallah. Protesters are on the streets here to denounce Israel.
Now is real.
Most of the time, the Iron Dome works, but there are rare occasions that a few get through, like here in Ashkelon.
News for the generation of now is NBC News Now. Streaming free everywhere.
They told him I rejected him because he wanted to be female.
This is the story of a family divided, a fringe religious movement blurring the lines between church and state, and a teacher caught in the middle. This is Grapevine, an NBC News podcast. Listen now.
What's the message that you're trying to get out to young people?
Know what is in the drug supply.
We've got important news this hour about your money.
Mental health, big picture, why is it so tough right now?
News for the generation of now is NBC News Now.
The fire has grown. Leaps and bounds. You see behind me is typical. How you doing?
Pretty bad.
The NBC News mobile app. Get connected to your favorite news shows. For the top stories, breaking news, and live video, download the NBC News mobile app now. Kristen Welker joins Meet the Press as its new moderator. Sundays on NBC.
What is going to happen now?
Back and forth.
Go ahead. This is it.
On a December day in 2017, 2.5 years after Shirley Carter's murder, In this courthouse in Knoxville, Iowa, father faced off against son. Bill Carter had spent almost $1 million to get to this courtroom and to this moment.
There is not a more important courtroom anywhere in this state than this courtroom today, right now.
Bill Carter's lawyer, Mark Weinhardt, opened by telling the jury only one person wanted Shirley dead.
The killer is sitting a few feet from you. That's the killer right there, Jason Carter.
It started like a murder case, but remember, this was a civil trial, a wrongful death lawsuit. The father, the plaintiff, his son, the defendant. The burden of proof is much lower than it would be in a criminal trial.
The plaintiff only has to prove the defendant liable by a preponderance of the evidence. In other words, 51% likely that you're right.
Bill Carter's lawyer played Jason's 911 call. He argued Jason stated something about the time of death he couldn't possibly have known.
And you hear him say that his mother has been dead for 2 hours, which medically is absolutely not the fact based upon what we know about the condition of the body. But also, why would he be saying that other than to already start to create the narrative, hey, it wasn't me?
Then Bill's lawyer attacked Jason's character to show the jury he wasn't a devoted family man.
You saw this, sir? I did.
Jason's other woman took the stand. Her name, Tara Hope. She was questioned by another of Bill's attorneys.
You could hear a pin drop in that courtroom.
Tara recounted her 15-month affair with the married Jason Carter.
How frequently were you guys having sex? On average, it would be several times a week. Did you ever tell Mr. Carter that you loved him? I did. Did he ever reciprocate and tell you that he loved you? He did.
And Bill's lawyer said that on the morning of the murder, Jason and Tara exchanged more than 100 texts on that secret phone. Some of them scheming.
Do you recall what your last text message from Mr. Carter was? It was something sexual.
Weinhardt said the conversation ended only when Jason stopped texting as he pulled up to his parents' house.
Text, until text, at which point the text traffic goes dark.
Quiet for 13 minutes until Jason made a phone call to his sister, telling her their mother was dead. Weinhardt argued that was more than enough time to kill his mother and stage a robbery.
Plaintiffs called Jason Carter.
Then came the moment so many had been waiting for. Jason, the favorite son, in his own words, telling the jury about seeing his mother dead. Weinhardt confronted Jason about the affair.
You did it in a friend's residence, in cars, even in your own house. Correct. You became a practiced, skilled, and chronic liar.
Correct.
Now Bill's lawyer tried to prove motive. It was, he argued, about money. The jury was told Jason was a spendthrift.
He puts money into motorcycles and nice cars and trips and vacations.
At the same time, Jason was expanding his farm operation. Where did all that leave him? More than $500,000 in debt.
Jason was as broke as he had ever been. He had $40 in his personal bank account, $80 in his business bank account.
Weinhardt said Jason saw only one way out: getting control of his parents' farmland worth millions. Jason knew that he stood to inherit all of it.
My dad said that Shelley and I and our kids will inherit the ground, and that your sister and brother will inherit everything above ground.
The lawyer mapped out his theory. Shirley had found out about Jason's affair. And if Shirley knew, then Bill soon would know too. Jason worried he'd be disinherited. He had to stop his mother before she disclosed his latest plans.
I want you to look at the jury and tell them the truth. You shot your mother to death.
Absolutely not.
The jury listened for 7 days to the plaintiff's case. Then came the defense.
Jason had a loving, close relationship with his mother.
Jason Carter's lawyer, Steve Wondrow, challenged the accusation that Jason, in his 911 call, was trying to push back the time of Shirley's death to morning hours, when he'd been accounted for on video at the granary.
This
this is all happening within a matter of minutes. Jason is simply so distraught. And to say, you know, you should have done this, or you should have done that, or this and that, I think is just ridiculous.
Since there was a civil case,